Hey guys, welcome to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy Monday morning. I hope you're all okay. I hope you're all right. I hope the weekend treated you all very, very well. Excuse me. In this video, we are going to be comparing last season's fixtures this season's fixtures that we've had to last season's fixtures when we had them. If you see what I mean, you'll see what I mean when I get to it. Just to say, if you're watching this and you're new, subscribe. You're very much welcome to join us for the journey. Now, I will preface this, obviously, I'm not going to be talking about the Europa League. I'm not going to be talking about the EFL Cup, because technically we are in Europe, so that's an improvement, and we're through in the EFL Cup. You see what I mean? It's really irrelevant to talk about those things. I won't be talking about the Leicester game either, because we didn't play them last season. So it's not really fair to bring that in when the last time we played Leicester, Ange was in Scotland. So just the games that we could have played last year, I'm doing them right now. So let's sort of start with, I believe, Everton. Everton, we won 4-0, obviously. Great performance, everything fantastic. And what I'll do is I'm just going to tot it up on my phone as I go, which would be a good start. So Everton, 4-0 this season. We actually won 2-1 last year. So scored more, and we've conceded one less, which, hey, that's not bad. That's not bad whatsoever. And actually, when you think about that Everton game last year, and you look at the team that played, we had Emerson at left back, we had Davies at centre-half. Oliver Skip was still playing in that team. And coming off the bench, we had Højbjerg and Dyer and Lo Celso, we had Brian Hill, we had 5 teenagers. So the squad is better. The performance was better. I mean, stats-wise, and I remember it, even though we had more possession, Everton probably and should have probably gotten a point out of that game, if I'm honest. So, good start there. We come, obviously, to the next game, which was the Newcastle loss. So, we lost Newcastle 2-1. We actually lost last year 4-0. So, already way more competitive. That was the capitulation last year. And to think it was only actually a few months apart, but in that game we had like 73% possession, but we did nothing really with it, And this season, when we lost 2-1, we were miles the better team. We still had loads more of the possession. We had more shots on target, more shots in total. We had nearly double their corners, and they had 7 corners. So it was 2-1, and yeah, there was chances in that game that had we taken, maybe that it would have been a different story. But, the fact is, we already improved there. I mean, you think we conceded 4 last time out. We only lost 2-1. So that's an improvement as well. Coming into, let me just load up. Coming into the next game, which ironically is the Arsenal game. So Arsenal, obviously, we know we lost 1-0 this season. It was a bit of a snooze fest, if I'm honest, of a game. Especially when you think of a North London derby, they're normally very exciting, but obviously Arsenal at the moment aren't very exciting. So we lost 1-0, but last season we lost 3-2. So again, yes, we only lost by a goal in that game, in both games. Maybe, yes, we scored 2, but obviously we conceded 3. I mean, this season alone, we've conceded no counter-attack goals. We've conceded 1 from set pieces. And yes, the set-piece goal was obviously in that game. But that, again, is an improvement. I mean, you look at it right now. In those 3 games alone, last season, we conceded 8 goals. This season, we've conceded 2. So we're already +6 on that front as well, which is... It's just bonkers, really. Absolutely bonkers. Yeah, we maybe scored more in that time, but we didn't even score more in that time, actually, just looking at it. No, we actually scored 1 less. So already miles better. Miles better. Brentford flavoured news. Obviously, beat them 3-1 this season. We actually beat them 3-2 last season. That was the Neil Mopay, doing the dart celebration about Matters. So, again, +1 on that front, again, another improvement. And I'm bringing this in. If you can't sense where this video is going, a lot of people go, look at our start. We're really rubbish. We're really this. We're really that. Blah, 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 blah. But if you just put it into context, last season, the performances when we were struggling through sort of the winter periods. So anywhere between, I say, about November to about February, where we really, really struggled. Injuries being the key problem there. It wasn't Ange doesn't do tactics. Ange doesn't adjust. It was injuries. Trust me. Any football team in the world, if you're missing 11, 12 players at one time, you're not going to be the same team, are you? Right? So if I don't want to hear about tactics and things like that, because it doesn't fit this agenda. And if you do think it fits this agenda, I'm worried about you more so than anything else in this world, okay? So, again, when you look at it, yes, we lost to Arsenal both ways, but we conceded 2 less. We lost to Newcastle both ways. We conceded 2 less. We beat Everton by 4-0 instead of 2-1. So we conceded 1 less and then scored another 2. So that's a 3-goal swing. In the Newcastle side of things, we had a 3-goal swing. Arsenal had another 2-goal swing, if you know what I mean. But it's in theory still a 1-goal swing. Brentford, another 1-goal swing. So 1 against Arsenal, 1 against Brentford. You're on 2 so far. Newcastle, obviously, 2-1 to 4-0. You can kind of work that one out really nicely. But that's a 3-goal swing. And Everton is another 3-goal swing. So 8-goal swing already, which is bonkers. That's huge. Man United last season, 2-2 draw, and that was a game where we were down injuries and, players that had just come back to fitness like Van der Ven and Romero. We had Bentancur, who's our 6 at the moment, playing as our 10. We had Højbjerg and Skip in that midfield. Werner, Richarlison and Johnson up front. The back 5 was the back 5, but it wasn't a very fit back 5. We had Brian Hill coming off the bench, Emerson Royale coming off the bench. We had 2 keepers on the bench. We had Santiago, Donnelly and Dorrington on the bench. Look at it now. It's just a night and day difference. That the fact that then we win 3-0. You're gaining 2 more points in that as well. All those games you haven't actually gained any new points, but you gained 2 more points as well as had a 3-goal change up. 3-goal change up. You conceded 2 less and scored 1 more, which again, another improvement. Brighton, obviously this season losing to Brighton 3-2. We actually lost to Brighton 4-2 in the change of things. So Brighton 4-2, Spurs. Then it was 3-2 this season. Yes, the capitulation wasn't good, and I'd actually say, if you put it into context, this is the one game that I had a bit of a change up on. Because I thought last season when we played them at theirs, by the way, this is exactly us playing them, whatever the home or away, is the exact fixture from last year. So I'm not talking about, actually, we beat Brighton at home. I don't care. I do not care. I'm just talking about the correlative fixture, okay? I thought the 4-2, when you put it into context, the 4 fullbacks, all that stuff coming into it, I actually thought we probably didn't play that much worse than we did the 3-2. Because the 3-2, the first half, obviously, we were magnificent. Second half, we were abysmal. You think the first half, we weren't very good against Brighton that time out. But we actually won second half 2-1. So you see what I mean? And that was a much worse team. Much weaker team as well. So, again, it's a 1-goal swing. And finish off with West Ham, obviously beating West Ham 4-1. Beating West Ham 4-1. We lost them 2-1. So you're gaining 3 points there. You're gaining 2 points off Man United. We're 5 points better off in these games than we were last season. So that's an improvement. You can't deny it. That is an improvement. When you think of we beat Everton 4-0 instead of 2-1, well, now you've got a 3-goal swing. Newcastle, instead of losing 4-0, you lost 2-1. It's another 3-goal swing. Arsenal, 1-0 instead of 3-2. Another goal swing. Brentford, beat them by 1 extra, another goal swing. That's 8 already. Man United, another 3-goal swing. That's plus 11. Brighton, lost by 1 less, 1 more gain on the swing. And West Ham, obviously, you're beating them 4-1, but you lost to them 2-1 last year. So, again, that's another 4-goal swing, which is just bonkers that we're 16 plus better off. You throw on top of that, the fact that we're playing better, we've got a better squad. So don't think of, this time last year we were top. Don't think about that. That's actually really irrelevant to where we're supposed to be right now. Just compare last season fixtures, this season fixtures, right? And then, yes, I've now been on my phone, so apologies, I'm a bit rude for that. But you think with 3 points better off against West Ham, with 2 points better off against Man United, with 5 points better off in those fixtures alone. So that's an improvement, right? If you play, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, ignore the Leicester game, because obviously that's not a fair one because we didn't play them last year. In those 7 games, if you're 5 points better off, I tell you, if I picked up 7 games, bunch of 7 games, and you're 5 points better off in every area, everyone's going to be thrilled. Because everyone goes, great, that's an improvement. Same thing. Because if you think 7, you times it by 5, let's call that the season, you're 35 points better off. Wait, are you? No, sorry, you're 25 points better off. I was doing 7 times 5 instead of 5 times 5. You're better off. So that's the way I look at it. We are better this season. It is proof. There's evidence in all the stats, all the numerical stats in terms of goal difference and then points gained. There's evidence in the way we're playing that we're better. Yeah, okay, people look at it and go, but yeah, we were top last year in those 10 games, after 10 games. Totally get that. But I'm just taking those teams that we played last season, this season, comparing the two and going, we're better. Now, there's still a lot more work to be done, and I agree. I'm not saying that we're finished article. There is so much more work to be done. The squad's still not even remotely finished. So people expecting us to fight for the title. I never expected to fight for the title this year. I expected to fight for top 4, which we are. I expected to have a good cup run, at least in the FA Cup or EFL Cup, one of them. Let's see. If we get past Man City, there's that potential. And I expect it to be competitive in Europe, which 2 wins from 2, can't complain. I'm not unhappy with the season so far. I'm somewhat satisfied. Yes, there's things that could be better. And yes, maybe, instead of capitulation against Brighton and you hold out, you win that, actually, you're right into the top race, really, for the title. But that's irrelevant. If you think about the Newcastle game, even though we probably should have won that game, and, Nick Pope obviously has his best games of the season against Spurs, we all know that. Actually, if you think about it, the improvement was there. We didn't capitulate. We battered Everton. Wasn't risky, and it wasn't that they should have gotten a point out of the game. We battered them. So, for me, lots of improvement. More that needs to be happening. Additions probably still need to happen in January, bringing in 1 or 2, and in the summer, having another bit, not a rebuild, but a retooling of a squad, moving off of a few players, bringing a few more in, and starting to go, right, now, this is the season where we want to take that extra leap. Those top 3, want to make that now a top 4. We want to be joining those top 3. That's my idea. I said Ange always needed 5 or 6 windows. We said 2 summers and a January, so we said 3. This January coming before, next summer will be 5. I said 5 or 6. You see how I mean. But anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed. Drop a like on the video if you did. Hit me in the comment section below. Thoughts, feelings about those games that we've played last season compared to this season. Are you happy with the improvement? Do you think there should still be more? Do you think there should be less? What do you think? Obviously, let me know down below. Obviously, subscribe to the channel if you're new and hit the bell notification for more. But anyway, guys, at the end of the video, I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care, guys.